In my mother's shoes I now can see why she would sit so quietly by her bed, a book in her hands, a prayer in her chest, and hope like a light in her head. She'd set the table with flowers from the garden, softly lay out the evening air, a lipstick smile, a whispered care. And like Cinderella in the stillness, she'd wait where the shadows gathered near, for a love that might return. And in that fragile moment when her heart would stir, she carried hope like a hidden room, where the prince in the pages knew her name. She was the princess, and the kingdom was hers for one small breath of love, till the clock told the truth again. And her pink ball gown faded into longing, and the carriage turned to stone, and she slipped from the palace before sorrow could speak, leaving her story in the stair, a single slipper waiting there. By morning the meal was still on the table, cold and untouched beside the folded bed. The candles had burned themselves out, and the daylight came instead. It was the moment she always feared, the dream undone, the ache returned, the world she built in her quiet hope falling apart. And then she learned, so she would close the book and face the day as if nothing in her heart had died. For years she waited with worn out pages and a love she kept alive. But she found her comfort in stories, her love tucked safely inside a book, where the prince would always come back and call her name. She was the princess, and the kingdom was theirs for the length of a trembling glance, till the midnight clock struck hard again. And her pink ball gown turned back to tatters, and the carriage became a stone, and she ran from the palace before he could see, leaving the other slipper at home. And the books she read are still waiting open, and I have begun to read them too. The chair where she sat is now my own, and I wear her slippers, the glass ones she knew. For all those years, all those mornings when she wept for what could not stay, for a prince, for a promise, for mercy, for a love that slipped away. And like her I wait in the silence, in a dress only I can see, for a stone that might become a carriage, for a life that could still be. And like her I run when the clock strikes 12, yet I leave the slippers behind for me. But what she gave me was not just sorrow, and it wasn't only a grief that burned. When her love went cold, she still kept living, and in the pages I learned. She handed me hope between the chapters, she handed me light she could not keep. She said, fairy tales are real, my daughter, even when you wake, and even when you weep. From cold ash, life again, from the dark, the steady flame, from the silence, the mother's name, and the fire knows me by finish I will, and what she could not hold I will yet. Because fairy tales are real.